So if you're at the point now where you're thinking, okay, I get it. I should have a business succession plan, but I really don't know exactly how to start or what to do. Um, there are obstacles that I think that prevent us from actually taking that first step to making a plan. The first one is the motivation of the successors. We talk a lot about when we talk about business succession planning. I don't think enough is discussed about having conversations with the people who are actually going to inherit the business. So if you're a person that wants to one day leave your business to a child of yours, and especially if that child is an adult, when you don't have conversations and you don't anticipate what their needs are or how they're going to be succeeding or even operating within the business when they own it, you can cause a lot of conflicts because the new owners themselves can sink a business because they have a lot of different interests that may not be aligned with yours that makes your business successful today, or that will make the business successful later on. So what I like to do is I like to tell people, if you are serious about establishing a plan, you really need to rank the motivations of someone taking over the business. When somebody owns a business, there's four really real motivations and these four things really drive your desire to even own your business. It's cash flow, it's wealth accumulation, occupation, and legacy. These ideas really mean that you can have all four, but one is the most important. And what I want you to take away from here is that if you can have this conversation with people you want to leave your business to, you can tailor your succession plan around the primary motivation. So if I have a child that is, let's just say 25 years old, and I tell them, I want you to one day own this business, but what would you be interested in if you were to own the business? And they say, well, I just want to make sure that I have a stable, the money is coming in every month because I may have other interests. So in that sense, your primary motivation is cash flow. You can set up your business so that you can leave your business to that child to where they get that monthly cash flow, but you can structure the business in a way that somebody else makes some major decisions or makes at least some decisions, so that the person that is taking over the business has an interest in keeping it going, and that what you plan on doing matches what they want to do when they eventually take over. The second obstacle is assembling a team of professionals. A succession plan is a process. It's not something that's done overnight, and it involves multiple professionals. I think this is something that is not discussed enough as well. As an attorney, I have a role in forming a business succession plan for my clients, but if my clients aren't seeing these other professionals, the financial advisors, the insurance agents, accountants, they're being underserved. So I take the approach of informing the clients that this is a team effort. And so it could be a very hard thing to do, to really talk to a bunch of different professionals who have a different expertise about this one plan. But until you do that, whatever plan that you come up with is going to have some holes. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what each role these professionals have in your succession plan. An attorney will ensure that the plan is actually structured correctly, and they can draft, review, and negotiate necessary contracts. When every business is entering into contracts, and regardless of when you leave, the business is going to be in those contracts afterwards. So an attorney can help you renegotiate or understand how your exit can affect these contracts with the business. A planning attorney can modify your estate plan or establish your estate plan that matches and accommodates your succession plan, so that you're making sure that if you want to leave your business to your children, that you actually have the proper estate plan in place for that. And an attorney also ensures that your corporate documents are not only just in place to establish your foundation as a legal business entity, but it also ensures that the corporate documents are going to be in place so that your plan is actually executed. The takeaway here is that you can have an actual succession plan in place, but it's those corporate documents that are actually going to execute the plan. Accountants are making sure that you understand the tax implications of whatever the lawyer tells you about your business corporate structure, because a part of the plan may involve you actually changing your business structure so that you're able to really move around that equity, so that the controlling interest is how you want it to be. And this is something that Walmart did in the early stages of Sam Walton's career, to make sure that that his plan was executed correctly. Now, the accountant is the one that tells them and tells the owner, if you do X, it's going to cost you Y in taxes, or try to work with the attorney to figure out a way of making sure that whatever happens isn't going to cause any adverse tax complications for you. And it's also going to develop strategies to decrease taxes when this equity is actually transferred. If you actually grow your business, and hopefully you all will have the problem of trying to lower your estate taxes, because it means that you've amassed an estate that's worth a couple $1 million. Your accountant will plan for that and plan for an effective way of making sure that, those taxes don't chip away at the net worth of what you're literally passing down to next generation. And accountants also have contacts that can establish a business valuation for exit planning purposes. So for those of you who may think, I want to actually sell my business one day, your accountant can make introductions to business brokers, or even do a valuation of your business yourself, so that you understand what you're working with here, as in terms of how, when I talk about passing on my business to someone else, what does that actually, what could that possibly mean in a dollars and cents idea. Financial advisors and insurance agents assist with retirement planning for those business owners who may be in a position of thinking of, I want to retire from my business, but I would like my business to actually help sustain my retirement. And this happens a lot. And these financial advisors help bridge that gap of making sure that happens. They also can find insurance policies that provide cash to the business in case there is an unexpected death or incapacity of the owner. And this becomes extremely critical when you have a business partner, or for those of you that have family members that really rely on the income for the business. These insurance policies are, the way they usually work is that the business will take out a policy in the business's name, so the business is the beneficiary, so that if something were to happen to you as the owner, it could be the business partners or the business itself receives the cash. And that cash can be paid out to the beneficiaries of your estate plan, or for those of you with business partners, it can be paid out to the business partners, who can then buy out any new owners that are coming into the business. And they also help fund buy-sell agreements. For those of you who may not be familiar with these, a buy-sell agreement is usually an agreement between business partners that anticipate one of the partners or some of the partners staying and some of the partners leaving the business. It gives the business the money for business partners to buy each other out. And these advisors can help you do that. So the third obstacle that usually business owners find with really instituting these plans is not having a business continuation plan. So there's a difference between the business succession plan and the business continuation plan. The business succession plan answers the question of what happens to the business when I plan to exit. The business continuation plan answers the question of what happens to the business if I exit unexpectedly, which would usually be because of some sort of incapacity or disability, or if you pass away. So the continuation plan is a mini plan that's used as a measure to protect the business if you were to leave tomorrow, whether you, it could even mean if you retire, but mainly for if you were to pass away tomorrow or become disabled. And it really is the first step in creating a successful business plan. And it has to be updated periodically, just like the succession plan itself.